Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. With the prevalence of these two CDL2 Warzone Pro tournaments in Vanguard the last couple of weeks, a lot of pros are not particularly happy about the stacked teams they are being forced to play up against, and FormaL giving his thoughts on the present time on the state of Call of Duty Vanguard. Very much intriguing your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do to help this channel reach more people, and please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from Crone. Walls simply do not exist on Bacage. This one I thought was ridiculous. Like, I think this guy's planting the bomb. That's where he gets kind of the team damage reflection. But look at this. He's got an SMG. No, this is like no, I'm pretty sure no FMJ on this. Shooting through all these walls through the middle of the map. I don't understand how this is even possible. I made a comment about, like, you know, this game's just so realistic, right? Like, back in the day, that the grandparents, like the great-grandparents was talking about how they were just firing bullets straight through concrete walls. So, you know, it's like this type of stuff. How does this get through the cracks? I don't know. But honestly, this could be a bomb, like, glitch kind of a defuse spot or whatever, right? Like, you could plant the bomb, go here, and then try and wallbang this. I don't know, like, it's just, you know, things get like this get pointed out on the timeline. Will it be fixed within like a couple of months? I don't know, but I guess we'll keep our eyes on that one. This also, given there's been some talk about capture the flag, right? What's going to be the third game mode in this game? We don't even have one yet, and some talk from Mr. X about, like, you know, no game does CTF like Halo does. And as Dr. Disrespect says, because back in Advanced Warfare, when Dr. Disrespect made a few of the maps in that game, or at least was that Solo was definitely his one. I think he maybe contributed to some other ones. They were some of the best CTF games in there, the best CTF maps in that game, to be honest. And I've always tried designing maps with CTF in mind as the core structure for the lane, spawn areas, sightlines. I feel if you could design a good CTF map, all other modes will naturally work. That's definitely an interesting take. Most of the good CTF maps in COD history were also good for the other game modes, to be fair. So he may be right on the money on this one. Maybe just bring him back to make another map, to be honest, for this game. But well, this also from some of the pro players talking about the map set right now, the map pool, because at Desert Siege, people are like, okay, Desert Siege, do we really have to play this one? Now, Oasis was a map that was played in some of these early tourneys, but for some reason disappeared. I personally thought it was alright for Search and Destroy, and that's what Dashy's saying right here. Am I the only one who thinks Oasis should be played over Siege? And there's some reply, you know, back and forth whether that should or should not be the case. Like, you know, Dashy's like, you know, even 4 versus 4 shipment S&D over Siege, we got to play that one instead. And, you know, it's absolutely horrible. I'm pretty sure Clayster said in reply, like, well, he's told Illy that probably is going to be the case relatively soon, at least as one of the GA representatives. It seems the GA representative for the Optic guys got rounded in the tourney. Now I'm gassing all my boys up, says Dashy, right? So we looked at this tourney last night, the $20,000 Boom TV tourney or whatever, which Rated & Co ended up winning the entire thing. Illy, of course, was on that winning team, and it was Scump and Shotzi on the other team that ended up falling short to Octane Martin that we looked at earlier today. But, well, one of the players that, of course, playing in this one was Dave Makama-Barlow, 3-time world champion, who's playing with his wife, Holly, and a couple of other players as well. Now, it's kind of crazy, these tournaments, because they're designed so that you can't have, like, a full CDL team play them, because I'm pretty sure the CDL doesn't want these tourneys being branded as, like, okay, it's Optic versus FaZe, get all the Optic boys in, get all the FaZe boys in. The CDL kind of want to retain that for themselves. Therefore, they say, okay, you can have 2 CDL pros from the same team, but everyone else has to be like another player, whether you know, whether that's a Warzone player, right? For example, the problem is a lot of the Warzone players were, or like content creators in general that play these tourneys, were pros very, very recently indeed. So you're basically stacking your team full of pro players. And if you put like an actual Warzone player on your team that hasn't played competitive Call of Duty at a high level, you're probably going to get bodied by a team of Warzone pros that are basically just pro players that have literally just quit the game. Karma, of course, being one of them, who can still certainly compete at a very high level. And this is what Dashy says. Arguably, the greatest COD player of all time is considered a content creator and retired from these tournaments, no kizzy. So saying, look, I've got to play up against Karma in these tourneys, like, you know, but he's apparently a content creator, and I've got to have a content creator on my team, but, you know, he's got to play up against Karma. That's the thing. I'm retired from these tourneys. Then he says in reply, like, I said that 4 times and I keep playing them, says Arcitys. Already locked in for the next one, says Dashy. So I kind of backtracking kind of quickly. I thought it was kind of entertaining here. But this is the thing. Clayster continues with it as well. These are some of the teams, for example. 2 CDL pros, 2 Warzone pros. Of course, Mutex is actually like a genuine Warzone pro. But, of course, well, did play Search and Destroy tournaments for a very long time. But you can see the rest of this team. Slasher, aBeZy, and Huke, right? So Slasher and Huke, of course, of LA Guerrillas. And aBeZy is like, he literally was on a pro team last season, was a very great pro player. 2-time world champion in his own right. And is now a Warzone pro, and therefore he gets to play these tourneys as a Warzone pro. Same thing really over here with Tiny, of course, who he was an amateur player for a couple of years. He's now, because he's not a CDL pro, he's now a Warzone pro. Same with Rated, even though he played COD at a high level for many years. This team I thought was also kind of funny. Methods, TJ, Blast, and Slacked, right? Like all players that have played in Call of Duty at a very high level, but I guess because some of these guys are retired or they're not actual CDL pros anymore, like none of these guys technically right now, they can all kind of qualify in this boat. So Clayster reckons if you've ever been a pro, you count as a pro in this type of situation. Of course, that does rule out a lot of Warzone players now that were players in the past, like guys like Aqua, for example, that have gone over there. Does it count as a Warzone player? How many years does it have to be before that classification changes? It's an interesting one for sure. But you know, as Rated says in reply, this rule kind of cucks out players like me and Tom. That's Tommy, of course, who was on Scump's team. Who on earth would pick us up if we'd not played in 2 years when you can just get Simp and aBeZy? I think the rule is more bent towards the second Warzone player, but I just don't know how you can do it. One thing it could work on is have, like, you know, top 20 earned Warzone players. If someone on that list doesn't want to play, you keep moving it down. But you know, like Clayster's saying, like, if you haven't played for 2 years, you're still basically at a pro level here in these tourneys. The point is supposed to be people who aren't familiar with competitive and people who are. Just gotta find a way to make it work, because right now it's just a stack. That's the thing. Pretty much that's what people say right now. Like, it's either stack or be stacked, as what he says right here. Stack or be stacked. Either put your team together with a stacked number of Warzone player talents, or don't do that, right? But it makes all these tourneys waxes, Clayster. Like, look, fact of the matter is, the teams that win this stuff, I mean, in the end it was Illy and Co, right, with Rated and Tiny. Like, these guys win this, but in reality, it's not like a fair representation of having, like, 2 guys who are familiar with competitive, 2 guys who aren't particularly familiar with competitive, when this is your roster of 4. But at the end of the day, as he says, there's money on the line, it's stack or be stacked. At the end of the day, I don't really mind watching. I want tournaments with the highest possible level of competition. If you're going to get players that are great in, that's better than getting players that aren't so good in, that haven't played competitive Call of Duty at that kind of level. That at least is my perspective, but I can understand why the pros might be a little bit frustrated on this one. Arcitys also kind of follows up. I gotta stop playing these 2 CDL, 2 Warzone tourneys, because some of the Warzone players have more competitive experience than me, right? That's the thing. Arcitys has been around. I think he started playing, at least as the proper professional player within the league, he started playing in Infinite Warfare. I think he was around for a couple of tournaments in Black Ops 3 as well on the amateur side, but you know, the Gosu crew and then E-United through Infinite Warfare. There's some players that are playing these tourneys. For example, aBeZy, who's been around since like Black Ops 1. I think he even played some Black Ops 1 tourneys, aBeZy. Like, he's been around for years, and you know, he's got way more experience competitively than Arcitys, you could say, but he's not a Warzone pro, right? So I thought that was kind of funny take on the whole matter. And as Gunless says, I want putting Warzone player in my bio at this point, if that's going to be what it takes to get picked up to some of these teams. Wanted to discuss this then as well, FormaL's thoughts on Vanguard. Of course, as you can see, he's playing Halo, he's enjoying his time of Halo for good reason, and just saying, like, look, I'm really happy that I don't have to play Vanguard on a competitive level this year. Like, he's saying, look, he made a good call retiring from Call of Duty when he did. The game is just awful all across the board, all the issues with the game. He's saying, look, the CDL would probably fine me for saying this, but they can't do that anymore because I'm not a pro player. And it's kind of muffled, right, because he was playing DMCA music very loudly, so I had to try and cut it out as best I could with like a noise reduction type software. But I think it's okay. You should be able to just about hear what he says. Hopefully there's still not enough left to get DMCA'd. It is what it is.
How happy am I not to play Vanguard? That's happy. I'm not gonna lie, I think that game looks like garbage. I think it looks boring, pretty in terms of gameplay. I think there's glitches. I think there's bad maps. They really dropped the ball on that one. I can say that now, so find me for sure.
That's the thing in the present state of Call of Duty. People are like, okay, you know, FormaL's probably on the money here. Zuma says, we got to talk Cellium games. There was a clip that came out yesterday. He was like, it's kind of embarrassing for the developers to get, you know, outdone like this by what the Halo guys have achieved. Of course, they've had a longer time to work on this game and to make it work for competitive. But, you know, it's just a lot of pro players not particularly happy with the state of it. There was a couple of interesting tweets here from Priestahh, actually, just, of course, Halo player, discussing, you know, where Call of Duty is right now. The fact that Halo's been in the bin for the last several years and it's finally coming back into a bit of a resurgence. Call of Duty will well have that again. Does that mean, though, at some point, advanced movement coming back into business? That's kind of what Halo's got with the whole jumping thing going on. Like, what do you think? Imagine Shotzi with more freedom. You'll better be scared. Shotzi very much wants the, you know, he wants the advanced movement back in business as well. So that could be kind of interesting to see how that one could develop. And, well, as Priestahh says, COD will be back to the glory days. Trust the process. Keep voicing your opinions. Don't forget to add solutions and be constructive in the criticism. You know, have a little faith that things will get back in business. I think it will over time. But, obviously, Halo's done a number on Call of Duty this year, and well, hopefully the CDL can actually respond to that one with some positive changes when they announce some things for the upcoming season. And I just thought this is kind of funny really here from Morgs. My opinion on what COD multiplayer needs to be great again, comments appreciated. I think the only thing he probably doesn't mention here is like squad spawns. I don't think he mentions, but I mean, just the amount of the list of things that are needed here to make a great multiplayer game again, I thought was kind of funny. Like all the things that he would change or what like he wants in the game to actually make this game as good as he can be. Like, you know, Jesus himself, because there's no way any of this will ever happen. I guess we will see how things go. Very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and looks like you should see it as well. And I'll grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
He's going back stable. He's on 3. He's on 3.
Yeah, no, he's on like 4. He got a glide, I think. We're good? Yo, they're spawning left trench right now.
Bottom house, bottom barn.
Right on me then.
Nice, good
Got
job.
2. I'm pushing. Flying. I got 3.
Quarter.
They're spawning back left trench. Back left, 1 shot slasher.
I'm repitching the left guy.
Crossing the back.
Back left slasher still.
Slasher, there's 2 back
There's
left.
more.
One more then.
One more.
Yeah, that was slasher.
Yo, we flip.
Wait, I spawned.
Yep.
No, he's still back there. I spawned with him.
In the back, aBeZy.
No, back one shot, aBeZy.
Stay up, I have you.
I couldn't. Cammy weak, you're good?
Play with the rear gun. Play with the rear
We
gun.
can.
Okay.
Please.
I was fine with
can
that.
time.
I was fine with that.
I'm on a mid, guys.
Back right, slasher.
Anytime.
Back right, slasher. 1 shot.
Moving top down.
1 shot back right. And he's probably side or a tree.
Oh, I'm out.
East side
Alright,
down.
let's go. Yo, turn up the
time.
comms.
One more.
Yeah. P1 Hydra.
Staying live in the back.
I fire yo. Let me know if you need help street.
I spawned behind a P1.
I might need help.
Two firemen. Above him. One more street. You fire. I don't have it no more.
Fire, low fire dead. Yeah, deep left, that. Unloading.
Yeah, here. I'm gonna leave like a low key. Just pick it up off spawn.